You know, growing up in like a toxic family will make you hate your last name. Like you just be writing your name or thinking about your last name like, fuck, I really gotta wear this shit. So for me, I think that's why I'm so excited to get married. Like, just so I don't have to be associated with that lineage anymore. Um, yeah, I'm very over the Williams Brigade, and I'm not gonna keep saying their last name and giving them any more publicity that they're seeking. Um, I'm over it. Um, Toxic family dynamics suck, and if you're somebody like me that is coming from that, I'm sorry, but just some ways that I knew that I was in a very toxic ass family structure. Like, one thing about me is I'm never gonna be jealous of anybody who has rightfully earned something good in their lives. I love to see people doing good, but when you have to sit there, not even that you have to sit there, but when you witness somebody literally bully an elderly person to get what they wanted, it fucking sucks. Because it's like, who even are you? You know? Like, do you even feel satisfied when you go home at night in that big house that you had to fucking nearly fight your mom for? Like, fist fight your mom for? You know? Like, what does your husband even do? You know? Yes, I'm talking about your ass, Kia. Because what the fuck? You didn't earn that. You bullied Thelma Williams for it, your mom. And she submitted because she doesn't know how to tell any of you fuckers no. You know? So it's just unfortunate. One thing about me is I will never be, again, I repeat, I'm not a jealous person, you know. I have been in the past, but that's because I was carrying energy that wasn't mine and I didn't know my self-worth. But it's also like, I love to see people doing good, I believe in hard work and really like earning your keep and earning the nice things that you want. I've been working, before I could even legally work. I've been working since I was like 16, And it's just like, it sucks to see people who are older than me and supposed to be like established. When we were kids, they tell us like, I thought that the grown-ups were like 20, 21, 22. No, like far from it. And it's crazy. There is no real age on getting established. As long as you're happy with what your life looks like and you have someplace, to lay your head at the end of the night and you have food to put in your belly, don't let anybody make you feel fucking bad for any way that you're living. If it's up to your standards or it's what you can do within your means at the time, then so be it, Because so many people are just like hell-bent on humbling others because of how they live, because they weren't at the Diddy parties and at the freak-offs, earning their living, and because they didn't make an OnlyFans to, get a check, because they don't have a white sugar daddy to, pave their way and buy them all these businesses and things like that. Like, I don't feel bad. Like, I don't know, that it just didn't hit the way that they thought. It didn't affect me. I remain unbothered. And that's not even to be like cliche, but it's just like, okay, weird flex, but all right. Like if that's what makes you happy and that was what, gives you a sense of gratification at the end of the day, then good for you, like that. If you're happy, I'm happy for you, go ahead. But I have a daughter So you won't be seeing my toes or any of my body parts on OnlyFans with my consent. If somebody, did some sneak shots or something like that, like, I suspected their dad, my kid's father did, Victor, then, that's that. That's between him and God. But you'll never see me willingly out here doing that because, not only do I have a daughter, I have 2 sons. I have boys. My partner has a son. Like, what the fuck do I look like explaining to my kids? Like, I couldn't even fathom how to explain that. And, like, to my son. My son is, like, really important to me. I have, little boys and girls and a girl looking up to me, like, I have a cat, that looks at me, and he would judge me if I was buying his cans, using money that I made off a pole or, things like that, I think that, just even goes back to, like, me subscribing to, like, LGBTQ things. LGBT, I'm just going to stop it there because I don't know what all that Q and extra shit means. But LGBT, when I had my daughter, even, when I had my son, my oldest, I kind of was like, you know what? I need to change my ways because that was a phase and that's no longer resonating with who I am today. I do believe that it is a trauma response, but also I'm not judging anybody if that is their truth, and that's something that I really want you guys to understand about me. With anything that I say in these videos, I am not God. I'm not perfect. I may say statements that seem contradicting at times, but that's because I'm not perfect, like I've seen both sides of the coin and I've always chosen God, and there's certain things that I can't do that you might be okay with doing, and that's okay. Because there's no 2 people on this earth that are alike, and that have the same blueprint and coding from God, and I listen to Him. I pray a lot. I read the Bible, and even those things don't make me better than someone on the streets or a prostitute. Because at the end of the day, they could still choose God, but just be lost in their ways and their sin. And God forgives everybody. So I never want anybody to view me as if I'm coming on here on a high horse or I know everything or I'm this or I'm that, because I'm not. I'm just sharing my point of view and my experiences because that's what YouTube is for. And this is my platform. So I get to do that. And that's on freedom of speech. I feel like there needs to be a lot more, people, especially Black people, Black women that come forth about their experiences in life. So we have better role models for our community, because we're so lost and so easily persuaded because we're so trusting. It sucks. It sucks to see. And I can say that because I'm somebody who has been in that position. I'm somebody who has been too trusting to the point where I almost lost my life over it. But thank God, So anyways, there's a lot going on in the world always, but it's just really important to check in with yourself. I was going to do this whole individual video on how to know when you're okay and how in self-check-ins and stuff, but I think I like the disorderly chaos that my YouTube videos present, because there's never just one topic in them, even when that's what they're supposed to be, and that's my favorite part about me. And I'm not going to feel bad anymore for popping my shit and liking myself in a society that wants Black women to literally degrade themselves for validation, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not subscribing to that. So subscribing, y'all know what the fuck I'm saying, you know? I refuse. I just refuse. And I'll be on that hill for the rest of my life. But ways that I know that I'm okay, I'm getting back to a lot of my interests and also discovering untapped interests. And one of the first ways I knew that I was all right, and, you know, I can give some thanks to Miss Rumby and Senora Selena at Pacific Garden Mission, Evangelist Phil, you know, great resources and pillars of God in the homeless community and the unhoused community. If you're somebody that is unhoused in Chicago, you know, Pacific Garden Mission right off Canal Street has a home for you. They're going to make you follow rules, but, you know, if it means you getting to the next step and getting that God back in your life, you know, then so be it. Do what you need to do to get by. Shout out, Mark. Hope you're doing amazing. But yeah, you know, like, you just really got to take care of yourselves. But, you know, going back to the original thing I was saying, you know, one way I really knew I was okay was my ability to receive God again. It's not that he ever left me, but I was so distracted by carnal things, especially carnal things that my partner was doing, my family was doing, you know, that toxicity, you know, can kind of drown you. And when you're in it, you don't even realize you're in it until you're outside of it, looking back like, wow, I can't believe I dealt with that. I cannot believe for so long that was my reality, you know? And if you are able to tell your story on the other side of it, congratulations, you're still alive, you know? Yes, you have to start from scratch, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of fun to rebuild because especially, you know, when you're rebuilding as an adult, you get to build it your way. A lot of us as children didn't have choices. It was, you're going to do this or you're going to get your ass kicked and that's it, you know, or you're going to do this or the whole family's going to look at you crazy and that's it. Or you're going to follow my rules and, you know, submit to your uncle or get the fuck out on the streets. And quite frankly, I chose the streets, you know. My family literally tried to marry me to my abuser, you know, my kid's father, as if that was like normalcy, you know, and I just wasn't down. So I chose to leave. And yeah, I had to leave my kids behind. They're at Exodus. They both at Exodus? I don't know. I don't know where Clay is. I don't keep track of him. But, you know, I had to, like, you know, really just kind of, like, even leave my kids behind, which is something I never wanted to do. Ever. I never wanted to do that. But, you know, if it means securing our future away from that toxic dysfunction that the Williams family was presenting from my childhood, and even it just was getting worse and worse, you know? So it's just like, oh my God, I have to get away from these fucking people. So be it, you know? And, you know, I just, it's a temporary pain for a lifetime of gain, you know? Yes, I miss my kids every second of the day. But I have to just be grateful that they're safe, and I just pray that they're loved, you know, and something that's always been kind of a comfort for me is knowing that as long as they have each other, they'll be okay because of how I raised them and because of everything that we endured when it was just me and them, you know, all we had was each other. So we've always been really close based off that, you know. We've always been able to kind of like really, you know, lean on each other if, you know, okay, Izzy's having a bad day or Maya's having a bad day or Noah, you know, is throwing a fit, you know, because he's a baby, things like that. You know, we've always been there for each other. Or if mom was having a bad day, Isaac steps in and he would pick up the slack for me and things like that. So it's just like, you know, we just really learned how to take care of each other and, you know, be there for each other. So we're literally all we got. We were all that we had when we were left alone. So I'll never feel bad about that. So let's see. If you're somebody that comes from a toxic family dynamic, I wish you the best. And I want you to know that, your life isn't over. It's just beginning, especially if you're getting away from it and starting to live your life and your truth according to God's will for you and, God's plan for you, So, yeah, it's just okay, Those people are fucked up and that's okay. That's who they are. But that doesn't have to be who you are or who you become. Okay? So, I think that's it for this video. I'll make another video when there's less noise and something else comes up. Okay?